Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Rumors of Heresy. My name is Zareth, and I made it to the Shadow Round at Las Vegas Open, which is the biggest singles event in the world, the biggest one that's ever been. 1,100 people, and I made it to the top 16. And this is part 3 of my journey to getting there. I don't mean to spoil the results for you guys. Most of you already know them, to be honest. And so you can watch parts 1 and 2. They're linked in the video description. And you guys saw the thumbnail, so I was going to spoil it for the people who didn't know anyways. But one way or another, folks, it would also do me a huge honor and would really appreciate it if you would just hit that subs button if you haven't yet, or at the very least hit that like or comment something. Help us mount the algorithm in some meaningful way, folks. We're so close to getting to 1,000 subs. Wouldn't it be a Christmas miracle if we could do it? Especially if it was in January, which I guess it's February when this is releasing. So it would be its own brand of Christmas miracle if it happened in February. So anyways, we're doing this video a little differently than the ones, parts 1 and 2, in the sense that I'm actually just going to be doing this all as one shot. I have all of the slides and overlays and stuff prepared beforehand, but I just don't have the time to edit it all together and get better music, better transitions and stuff. So we're just gonna go with this method today. Hope you don't mind it, but it might be a little sloppy around the edges. Well, my videos are a little sloppy if we're just being honest anyways. So anyways, we're using Gladius Ultramarines, and this is a slide from I think part 1, just talking about the changes and differences, because the previous GT that I had gone to 1 week before had a few pretty fatal flaws that I needed to address as quickly as possible going to LVO. So we added those 10 jump pack intercessors, which were very important, and a combi lieutenant who was also very important, as you'll see. Then intercessors swapped out for infiltrators, which I'm still not sure if it was a good change, but I needed those 20 points. So this is the list. You'll see it in all these games, and for all of the times that I played this, I put the jump pack intercessors and the stern guard in reserve. Stern guard are deep striking with Uriel. Well, Uriel is helping them deep strike, more like. And then I always put one ballistas dreadnought in for 2 of the games. My final 2 games, I also put a predator in reserves as well, just strat reserves. So anyways, this is it's a cool list, guys. It's fun. It's been a joy. So just to briefly recap, my first game was against Dark Angels. Really nice player. He ended up going 3-3. None of my opponents got worse than 3-3, by the way. None of them were scrubs. Not even one. So beat Dark Angels. Beat Chaos Marines with like an all-vehicle Chaos army. It was really cool to see. Really nice guy. Owns a store in Michigan, I believe. Played a Templars player, and then beat a really strong Grey Knights player. He ended up going 5-1. I was his only loss. This is Jesse Sell, I believe is his last name. With the new detachment, really good player. I could not believe that I beat him. So 4-0 going into day. Well, this is going into the second match of day 2, and I got placed against Necrons. Now, my first fear was that I'd be facing the new Star Shatter detachment, because I've had close games against them, but I've never actually won against Necrons at a tournament at all. 0-3 so far, which my tournament record is somewhere in the 60 percentages, and it's not to brag. I've done pretty well, except against Necrons, and also actually against Templars until my win on day 1, game 3. So anyways, he's playing Awakened Dynasty, and immediately I realized, like, oh gosh, this guy knows what he's doing. Like, the way he talked about the game, the way he just approached everything, he had all the right elements to let me know, like, oh, this is a good tournament player. He knows what he's doing. He knew my list, like, as well as I did, kind of. Maybe not my plans as well, but he knew what all my stuff did. And I mean, it was like, I mean, I knew that it was real when I was facing that Grey Knight player, and it was a really good game. But this time it was like, oh my gosh, we're actually like we're on the final approach here. Like, one of us could easily get into the shadow round. Like, one of us only has one more game after this to actually get to the top 16. We're in it right now. So he's got the Silent King. He's got Emotech, Orican. I don't know what the hell that guy is or what he does. A Hexmark Destroyer, which is a lone up guy. Royal Warden. I think he goes with his 10 Lich Guard. And then a Technomancer. I believe that's the guy who gives Feel No Pain to the Wraiths. I could be wrong about all of this stuff, guys. I think Emotech went with the Warriors to give him like a 4-up invuln, or maybe that's what Orican did. But the Warriors have a 4-up invulnerable save. They have 2 characters attached. So that's probably Emotech and Orican. Yeah, once again, I don't know these things as well as most of you do. He has 6 Wraiths, and then just a bunch of like scoring dudes and some Doomsday Arcs. So pretty scary list. He's got a lot of like big bricks of stuff, which is kind of scary. So, oh, hold on a sec. Hold on. Here we are. You guys saw the list for my next game. Apologies for that. Like I said, it's going to be a little sloppy. So, here's our eventual deployment. I believe this was after... Did I already move a little bit? It looks like maybe we were just about to start. So you can see we've got the Ballistus Dread here. The 2 Predators are hiding out. Roboute's right there. Like the middle objective is kind of just in a strange place. Oh, this is the ritual, by the way. So we have to place our own objectives other than the center. And I'm going to tell you guys this thing right now. We made a mistake. Both of us forgot that we can't score the ritual primary on our home objective. We forgot about that. That's a thing that we just both spent, like neither of us play it very often, and so we both got that wrong. When you see the scoring, you will see that that's the case. And so anyways, this is a very strange terrain layout. It's like a really weird sheltered center area here, and so we've got scouts here just to threaten the objective, but what I really don't want is for him to feel too safe on this middle objective, but at the same time, we're going to contest that thing, and he's going to be placing his own objectives all over the place in the back zone. He doesn't necessarily need the middle objective. Similarly, I don't really need it either, so we'll just try to place objectives along the way and do our thing. So we do have the Crucible of Battle deployment, which is approximately like this line that I just drew. So anyways, you know, the scouts are infiltrating kind of. I think I have a lone ob lieutenant up here. We have, I think this is, oh yeah, so Marneus' squad is right here, right next to Roboute, and then we have Uriel here. And the idea, of course, is just to place as many primaries as we can while disrupting what our opponent is doing. I mean, the ritual is kind of a frustrating mission, and I don't really prefer it, but it is what it is. We got to do our best, right? So, you know, just play secondaries as best we can and be opportunistic about things. So for his own deployment, he's got his big brick of warriors hiding in the ruin here. Some Ophidian destroyers. They have the uppy downy thing, which is really handy. Just the Silent King, and he's not going to tell you who he is. It's in the name. He's got the Lich Guard with at least one character. He's got the big old clump of Wraiths here. It's kind of an intimidating army. They're like Necrons. They're just scary, man. The Doomsday Arcs are here. They've just got a lot of, there's just like this kind of silent dread that you have facing them. So anyways, let's see, I think I had to go first. So placed an objective here, and he went and got on the objective a little bit. I forget, I think he needed like, did he get area denial? We'll see in just a minute what his scoring things were, but he didn't play that aggressively. He placed one of the objectives, I think right here. I think I'm pointing at it. You can kind of, if we zoomed in, here, let's try zooming in, shall we? Let's see. Yeah, so that little token here is exactly, oh, look at that tiny little arrow that I made. Right here. So that's his first objective. And so anyways, right in the middle of 20 warriors, I'm going first. And I guess the one thing that I'm also concerned about here, folks, is I can't really, like he's going to score 15 on the bottom of the turn unless I kill like all of his stuff. And so I need to make sure I'm scoring as much as possible. He's got a huge advantage by going first here, or by going second here. So we really need to be a little aggressive. So on my turn, I had just moved up. I don't think I fired a single shot. I think I put Oath of Moment on the Wraiths just as a kind of preventative measure. And then on his turn, he had his Doomsday Arc come over here, and he shot Marneus' squad, and he killed like 3 or 4 of them. I think he killed a Victrix and 3 of them, so it was still a squad, but it was barely a squad. They took a pretty big hit there. Like those things are so crazy when they roll well. And you can see the Silent King is supporting him so that he gets to what, reroll 1s or something, which is all he just the oh, he did a couple times where he rolled a 1 for a number of shots with the Doomsday Arcs, and then he used a CP to re-roll it and got a 6 every time he did that. It was uncanny. I think he did it this time. It was really sad, tragic even, but we're mostly still alive here. He's holding this objective, and I think I got Storm Hostile objective. However, let's see. Okay, so he got Storm Hostile objective on me because I think I had some scouts on there. Oh, because I had Secure No Man's Land for mine. So I had my scouts hang out on there, and then I used the trick where, hold on a sec. Well, I need to clear my throat, but I have to pause it for a sec. Okay, so I did the trick where I put them in Tactical Doctrine for my free CP from Roboute, and then when they got on the objective so that I could get Secure No Man's Land, and then once those Wraiths got close, I just hightailed it out of there behind a wall. So anyways, I got Secure No Man's Land, but that meant that he got Storm Hostile objective because I controlled an objective that he then was able to take with the Wraiths, even though he didn't charge or anything. And then you'll see, I got no prisoners. I didn't kill anything, but I kept it. For whatever it's worth, I kept it, and you'll see I got 1 kill. And it might surprise you what thing I killed, in fact. So let's move in to the next round. So anyways, I got Storm Hostile objective and no prisoners. I believe it was Storm Hostile. So the scouts, you can see, I put the little brick here. The scouts move up and onto the objective, and the Wraith just stand there. They only have 2 or 3, I forget if they're 2 OC each. One way or another, 5 scouts easily holds this objective. So that's Storm Hostile for me. And then I decided to do something a little bit ballsier than maybe I should have. Decided to go for the Warrior Brick, which, like I say, it's fairly ballsy. But what I did, I landed the Stern Guard. You can see this little square of Stern Guard thing. I landed the Stern Guard here, so they were all within 12 inches of the squad. And this is one of the reasons I like the Stern Guard bolt rifles, even though they only do dev wounds on a 6-up instead of as opposed to the combi weapons. The combi weapons are only anti-infantry 4-up, and with the Stern Guard you get to triple tap, so you get a lot of shots with them. You get a ton of shots with them, and so the idea is we're going to get a lot of dev wounds. They have a 4-up invuln save, but that's okay. We just need to get a lot of dev wounds on them and do the best we can. Try to delete them, and then we also have this ballistus that can come out here, and because of where he placed his character, I placed my vehicles based off of line of sight to their character, knowing that unless they have some kind of weird reactive move, which I made sure he didn't, then I'd always have line of sight to the unit. He couldn't just kill them out of line of sight. So we got the ballistus here, we got the tank here to shoot at him, we got this ballistus here, and we put Oath of Moment on him and went to town. The final result being that I barely killed the full unit. I think he rolled just a little above average, which is fine. I mean, that happens, but I think it ended up that one of his characters took 2 wounds, and that was it. So maybe I rolled poorly, maybe he rolled well, I don't know, but between the blast profiles on the ballistus and the tank being able to shoot a bunch of shots, the Stern Guard shooting a huge amount of shots, we killed all 20 warriors. So he had his 2 characters left wherever they were, but that whole brick is just gone, deleted. Wonderful result for me. Otherwise, I didn't do much. Like, just that. I think this tank shot the Doomsday Arc. I think the Hunter Killer Missile spiked a 6 on the damage, and then over the course of multiple turns, it just healed itself all the way up, and the Hunter Killer Missile just ended up being totally irrelevant. So that was a little funny, actually. But I say it's funny even as I'm sad about it. But let's move on to how did Joe respond here? So all right, you can't really see it. So first off, his ballista or his Doomsday Arc, and I think the Silent King came over and they combined to delete the ballistas back here, so no longer there. On his turn, I did remember this. I don't have perfect number of pictures, so I did delete these warriors here, but he picked up one of them, the guy who just lets them deep strike and stuff, and he actually deep struck into the corner. I overwatched with the Predator and killed him, and then he just paid to stand back up, so that was obnoxious. But I figured the Predator, because he still had Oath of Moment from when I killed the warriors, then the Predator would be able to have rerolls to hit. And in fact, it did work, killed the guy. And then he just stood up because he's Awakened Dynasty and he can do that sort of thing. But in his turn, he gets his Wraiths to charge the Scouts and deletes them. I believe. I think that's what happened. So I do know that the Wraith are all in the middle here. All in the middle. They're controlling it. There's 6 Wraith plus a character. They feel no pain. They have 4 wounds each. They're scary. I rapid ingressed my jump pack intercessors right here, just so I could continue to exert pressure. That way, in my own turn, if I needed to, I could have the jump packs go over here and mess with the center, or continue to exert pressure on the objectives that Joe had placed. So on his turn, he didn't do too much. He killed a few of my Stern Guard for sure. He deleted the Ballistus Dread, and he killed some of the stuff here. But it's kind of like, okay, well, we're doing okay, kind of. Like, he's still got a lot of stuff though. So on his turn, so I scored that 2 for no prisoners. I got Storm Hostile from the Scouts. On his turn, he got behind enemy lines with that guy who would deep struck and I killed, and then he stood back up. Damn it all. And then he also got Defense Stronghold. So right now it's looking all right. We're scoring. We're doing okay. We're outscoring him by really small, I think by 1. So it could be anyone's game, and of course he still has the advantage going second. And so you can see here the jump pack intercessors moved over here, and in fact I think this was the turn I popped my Assault Doctrine. So the jump pack intercessors advanced, and they charged and killed the Doomsday Arc here. And then let's see, so I was able to kill a lot of. Oh, that's right. This turn, the Stern Guard moved up. We got a few shots off on. Let's see. I didn't want to shoot the Lich Guard because then they can do all sorts of weird things with their. They can revive themselves and go into weird places. So one thing I did do, this Predator managed to kill the character in the corner, and then also there was like some random. So you can see one destroyer droid. There were 2 of them just hanging out, like doing objectives things, like just holding them. And the Predator went and shot one of them. So that felt good. And then the killing the Doomsday Arc. I think the Stern Guard helped kill the Doomsday Arc. So the jump pack intercessors didn't actually have to charge. In fact, I think that's, they jumped up here, but then they didn't have to charge because the Stern Guard managed to delete the thing. And so we're kind of encroaching here. The biggest thing, of course, is his Wraiths are all here, and I was kind of proud of this sequence. So he's got his Wraiths here, he's got his character here, and so the character's giving him Feel No Pain. They're really tough to kill. They're tough 6. They've got 4 up invulnerable saves with 5 up Feel No Pain. Just a really tough brick to shift. And so I had the Uriel squad move in. They charged the Wraiths. Roboute charged the Wraiths, and and then Marneus charged the Wraiths as well. And what ended up happening was I had Uriel's squad activate first, and had Uriel do a heroic challenge on his team. And between the champion and Uriel precision attacks on his character, it killed the character, which then allowed Roboute to come in, and because there's no feel no pain from the character, Roboute does 4 damage a pop, and he killed the whole Wraith squad on his own. I'd already been able to get a few some chip damage in on him anyways. Like, I'd already killed like 3 of them maybe, but Roboute coming in and just finishing them off without having feel no pain stop each individual kill was huge. So the Wraiths just disappeared, and then of course he spent to revive his character, and but the character didn't end up doing too much anyway, so that was good. And then of course I created another objective. You can see I didn't make the objective marker here. He also placed an objective right there. This was by the time, because we killed all of his warriors, we were able to finally place an objective marker there as well. And so a pretty good turn for me. Killed his character there, who revived, but then killed all the Wraiths, killed a Doomsday Ark, but of course he's still got his huge unit of Lich Guard. He's still got the Silent King, a Doomsday Ark, a Destroyer, Ophidians. He's still got a lot of stuff, right? So, and he's still scoring pretty well. And so, anyways, he was able. He didn't get area denial, which was really good. He couldn't get Cold Horde. He did get cleanse on 2 of his objectives, and he got containment 2 different places as well. Which, gosh, what a good secondaries turn. He also, remember, we were messing up and scoring our home objectives here as well. So for the ritual, he got 15 and I got 10, or he got 15 and 10, same as me. So right now we're like basically tied as well on turn 3. And we're coming down to it. He's still got Silent King and those Lich Guard, which is a really tough brick to shift. And essentially, because it's my turn here, and the Lich Guard, he didn't actually move him in to mess with the center objective, which surprised me. Instead, he moved the Lich Guard over to this area to kind of support the Silent King. And what I ended up doing was I put the moment on the King, and then the King was over here. Like he was kind of close. He failed. It was like a long charge. He failed the charge, but like you could see, the Stern Guard are depleted. They're not doing well. The Jump Pack Intercessors also depleted, not doing well. Oh, maybe it was. Now I'm thinking maybe the Silent King did charge the Jump Pack Intercessors and killed a bunch of them. You can see this, some of my scouts did uppy downy in the back zone so that they could, I think they got established locus, and then on the next turn they got sabotage in his deployment zone, so that was cool. Anyways, Silent King, so you do tactical doctrine, fall back, and then between Ballistus, yeah, see he was there, so Ballistus, the Predator, and all the shots that I could find between Stern Guard and Jump Pack Intercessors. I threw grenades. I did all the stuff. I think the Stern Guard ended up doing a lot of damage with their heavy bolters, doing a bunch of dev wounds. Between those two, between all of them, and then charging the Silent King with the Jump Pack Intercessors. Well, I don't even think. I think we just killed the Silent King. Yeah, I think we did. It's tough to remember, guys. I do apologize. But one way or another, the Silent King, just with his millions of wounds, just finally died. He just keeled over. He's gone. Thank God. He's got 26 wounds. I think Stern Guard did like 16 of those on his own. And then I rolled pretty well with a grenade, and anyways, he's gone. And then I had Roboute and what was left of Marneus. I think it was just Marneus and a Victrix charge in and wipe out his entire Lich Guard. From start to finish in one melee, he's just got his one character left there. And that was it. So on his turn, he doesn't really have that much. He's got his Doomsday Ark. He's got... Oh, and I managed with this Predator to, again, kill another of his heavy destroyers. So, heavy destroyers gone. He's got his Ophidians. He's got Doomsday Ark. And he's got a character here. I think this is the Hex Mark. And that's basically it. Emotech. He doesn't have that much. These are just, like, casualties, I believe. But, I mean... This is the ritual. He could still create objectives on his final turn. It's still a mess. Still being able to score all those was really good. So on my turn, Yeah, I got that 15, and he did not score on an objective. I managed to just stop him from scoring primary. Even on his home objective, he didn't score anything. He did manage to get extend battle lines on his turn. I got overwhelming force because I killed more than 2 units. I think just the Lich Guard and the character were enough. I did get established locus with those scouts. Oh yeah, there's sabotage right here on the next turn. Oh, this is end of turn 4. That's right. So he doesn't have much left, and so we just rolled our objective or our missions, and I was like, you know what? There's nothing wrong with. I was ahead enough at that point that he couldn't mathematically win. So I was like, you know what? Let's just let him. Like, let's not squabble over it. Let's just give him the ritual for 15. I also scored 15. I got containment on my final turn and extend battle lines, which were pretty easy to get with the units I had left. Well, we just said he got no prisoners for 5. I don't know that he could have gotten that, but I mean, with the Doomsday Arc shooting at Uriel's squad, he very well could have at least gotten 4 for that. So it was like, yeah, I may as well. And then secure no man's land. Why not, man? Let's just not squabble about it. So anyways, really nice guy, by the way, really nice guy. Kind of frustrated with how some of the things were going, but ended up scoring 97 to 85, and somehow I am in the running to get to get into. I'm undefeated 5-0, guys, going into the last round of the tournament itself before it kind of becomes its own little tournament for the top 16. So oh my gosh, I could not believe it. I figured I was just doomed here, honestly. Especially I saw Necrons, and Joe was a really good player. He really knew what he was doing, and just being able to delete those warriors early game was pretty big, I think. I don't think people just don't understand how strong Sternguard can be. So, and anyways, let's look at my next opponent's list, shall we? All right, we end up facing Ultramarines, but I've never faced them before. Vanguard Spearhead, which is the one with Uppy Downy, with the Dev Centurions, and just a lot of really cool tools. Like, this is so I don't think it's spoilers at this point. The guy who ended up winning or going second place in the tournament, Ben Neal, he's actually from my area for what it's worth. Really good player, but he plays Vanguard Spearhead, a little bit different version than my opponent here, but still, I mean, this guy is really good. He really knows his stuff. Thomas is his name, and really nice guy. It's a pleasure to play against someone who's pretty chill for the final game. Like, he obviously wanted to win, and so did I. But just the fact that we could both get along together was really nice. So the ability to redeploy his units to whatever side of the battlefield he wants is just such a huge benefit to him. And I'm tired, guys. We're both tired. The fatigue of playing a 6-round GT is just immense. At least at my age, I'm not quite 40, but it's still, it takes its toll. And so we're both probably going to make a lot of mistakes. We're both going to be tired, but at least he's got an army that I'm mostly familiar with. He does have Roboute and Uriel. So Uriel can give someone deep strike. Of course, you need that for the Devastator Centurions. And so they have deep strike. He's also got a squad of 10 Sternguard vets, which, like I've said before, a lot of people take the combi version of it, and he actually even commented on my own. He was like, really? You just take, like, the bolt rifles? That's an interesting choice. And I was like, well, I like it better than the combi weapons, but of course, combi weapons are pretty effective, as you'll see as well. So it's 5 jump intercessors. He had some inceptors as well, which you won't even see, which you'll see why, but one way or another, pretty scary list. The 3 Vindicators are really tough to shift, as you'll also see. And let's get into the actual fighting, shall we, folks? All right, so I ended up getting second turn, which was really nice. Getting second turn. Oh, this is the Terraform mission, which I've played a total of 1 time before this, and it's just not one that we all like. The competitive community just doesn't practice this one too often because it's just not great. But so I've got a combi lieutenant here on the objective. We've got some scouts here threatening it. so remember, I put the Predator in reserves. I put one Predator in reserves, one Ballistus in reserves. And then for Deep Strike, we have the Jump Intercessors and the Stern Guard, of course. So anyways, I don't remember why I needed to get into the center. I think it was some kind of a holding mission or something. For his turn, he needed to, I think he got secure no man's land or something. So he flew his Plasma Inceptors onto the objective just to hold it. And so on my turn, of course, the Predator, you can see, is kind of poking out from the little squares that he's got. So he's poking out just so we can see him. Predator deleted him, no problem. So and the scouts just went to, I think I got secure no man's land as well. So I started terraforming here on this objective. He started terraforming here on this objective, and that's basically it. You can see he's got his Vindicators here supporting all the different angles. The middle objective is just so exposed here, guys. His Roboutes here handing out free strats to everyone. The Centurion devs are just waiting to get up into the air so that he can deep strike them wherever. It costs 1 CP to do that, though, of course. So anyways, he's got Intercessors here holding this objective, just like mine are holding this. And you can see I'm deployed to keep him from deep striking onto my objective or messing around with me. You can see even Uriel's squad is back here, just kind of lined up here just to make sure I'm keeping that 9-inch interval so that he can't get into my back zone with like Centurions, because I'm just not equipped to deal with that. Centurions get here and immediately just have a good line of sight to a lot of units that I really don't want them to have line of sight to. So really important to screen that out. Now on his turn, so hold on. So it looks like he only scored 4. I don't remember. Let's just look at the. We can look at the next slide. I think it shows the scores. Yeah, okay. So he got cleanse. That's right. So he used his Inceptors to cleanse in the middle, and of course he was able to cleanse on his other objective there. And then he decided not to do established locus, which is fine. I mean, cleanse or established, they're the same thing for him. And then for mine, yeah, I had to do secure no man's land, so that's why the scouts were there, just hanging out on there. And then extend battle lines, like perfect draws for me. Honestly, that's the dream. On turn 1, just get secure and extend, easy peasy, 10 points on secondaries to start. So I'm up a little bit on secondaries, which is great. And then, so on his turn, or at the end of my turn, the Devastators go up into Deep Strike Reserve, and they land right here. And their objective, of course, is to delete the lone op lieutenant who's terraforming, minding his own business. And then I think he was gonna just try to kill my tank. I believe that's what he did. Or maybe he shot I think he shot some of the Uriel squad with las cannons. I don't remember exactly, folks. Honestly, I apologize. But the Centurion Devastators, he didn't shoot las cannons at the Combi Lieutenant, which was a really big deal for me because I needed him to live. So I put Armor of Contempt on him. He's just shooting the missile launchers. I put Armor of Contempt on him. He's already got cover, and he ends up taking 1 total wound. He not even really that close to dying. And then the devs also fail their attempt to charge. And I don't know if they tried to reroll it or not. One way or another. During his turn, I also rapid ingressed some jump pack intercessors here. Marneus is back here. You can't hardly see him. But one way or another, we've got the jump pack intercessors. We got Marneus here. And we're all just staged to kind of threaten his objective over here because he's this thing is terraformed now. I didn't provide any way to stop it. And I think the scouts are trying to terraform this thing. I'll just be real blunt with you and say it didn't work. It didn't happen. Surprise, the scouts in the open somehow didn't terraform the stupid thing. But one way or another, we got scouts here, we got the Centurion devs over here just deleting stuff, and then of course if we don't deal with him next turn, he's just going to be able to delete me again. He's got Stern Guard here. By the way, Uriel just didn't have a squad. He's just hanging out here the whole time to vect whatever I do in the center objective, which was pretty effective, actually. Effective, if you will. But anyways, let's see. Do I have a fit photo for end of his turn? Maybe it was end of my turn. Yeah, that's right. Because on my turn, I deep strike. You can't see it, but I deep strike the stern guard over here. Here, let's zoom in a little bit, just so we don't lose perspective here. So we have stern guard deep strike here, and at some point, one of my tanks blows up, I think. I don't know where it is. I don't know if this is the new tank, or maybe the Centurions killed this tank. That's probably what happened. He probably killed this tank with the Dev Centurions. Maybe. I don't know if he had line of sight, actually. But killed the tank, and then my other tank came in over here. And oh yeah, well, you can see the Uriel squad is also kind of hurt. So who knows what the hell happened, guys. But I only have photos of one total tank. I don't think I've forgotten about it. I don't think I just left it in reserves. It's always possible. But one way or another, we got Stern Guard here. You guys can't see him. I'm sorry. The building is blocking it. But I do finish the terraform on this objective, so I score. And then Ballistus walks on. Tank walks on. Stern Guard walk on. And between all of them, he rolled some pretty good saves. I think he did Armor of Contempt against one of the groups at least. Anyways, managed to delete 5 of the 6 Dev Centurions, which I don't think he was expecting. I don't think he thought that I could get them all. So we got him for the most part. Now, I did do a second Oath of Moment that never came to fruition. We put it on this Vindicator here. And so remember something he can do with his scouts. He can, if I declare a charge, he can then fall back the minimum, like he can fall back a full 6 inches if he wants, or just like he does a reactive move after I declare my charge. And so what I did, these aren't scouts, these are infiltrators, but the same thing, they're phobos. So if I charge them directly, I was far enough away, like I had rapid ingress way over here, way over in this building. So they moved up, even with a soul doctrine, they got to right here, and they couldn't really charge the infiltrators. So because he'll just reactive move away, right? And Marneus actually failed his charge. I needed like a 5, and with a reroll still failed it. Terrible. So anyways, the jump back intercessors did get in. What they did though to circumvent the infiltrators just like scouting away or reactive moving away, I had the jump back intercessors charge the Vindicator, and then they could consolidate into the intercessors. Now, it didn't help at all. If it would have helped a lot if we had killed the last Centurion Dev, because then I would have had Oath of Moment on the Vindicator, and then we could have wiped it out. Probably, but my rolls were catastrophic. I couldn't hit anything. It was just like, oh my gosh, I rolled like 24 dice and hit with like 4 of them on a 3-up. Just absolutely terrible. If Marneus had been here, had been able to pass his charge, I think we would have been in a lot better situation. But we didn't get that. We didn't get the so anyways, we get there, and the most important thing is, so he's tied up with all this stuff. He can't hold this objective right now, and Marneus is even on it to help with his 2 OC, so he can't hold this objective right now, which is nice. Like, we really needed that. So anyways, on hit, yeah, so things mostly went well. I couldn't kill this Vindicator. I did 3 wounds to it is all. And I think that was just from mortals. I think I got a few mortals on it. And then I think I killed 1 infiltrator, and then they actually killed one of my guys, which sucked. And of course, the whole objective here is just tie this objective up as much as possible. Keep him from messing with my own objective here. And that mostly worked. You can see I got Storm Hostile, so I got the one that he controlled, which was nice, the one that I'm contesting right now. And I got no Priz for 2. What did I even kill to get that? I don't even know, folks, because I didn't get... Oh, that's what So I got marked for death, I re-rolled it, and I got no prisoners. And because I didn't kill anything, I kept no Priz. And then let's see. I kept no Priz. I didn't get it until... Oh, on his turn, then he moved his Centurion Devastators. So, just to look at this map again, he moved his Centurion Devastators. He wanted to get onto the objective. And so the Stern Guard overwatched, killed him. I actually got a I didn't shoot all the bolters yet. I just shot the heavy bolters. I only got 1 hit which of course is sustained, so it's two hits. Rolled 2 wounds, and I was like, no, I'm just gonna fish for dev wounds. So I re-rolled it, rolled double 6, doing 4 dev wounds, and just deleted him. So instead of no priz happening during my next turn, it happened during his turn, which it means it was immediately scored, so I could roll 2 new missions right after that. And one thing I should mention too, guys, the judges table was just like right there, like right where the arrow's pointing. It was like we were on table 1 or something like that, like right next to where all of the judges were sitting. So we had immediate rules assistance whenever we wanted it, which was by design. I think they wanted all of the top players, all the top tables to be right next to the judges. So anyways, you can see, so he was on his turn. Yeah, so this is the picture of what happened after the end of my turn. But on his turn, he jumped his jump bag intercessors in, and he had the infiltrators fall back. He had he had 1 vindicator fall back. I think it was 1 vindicator fall back, and then he was able to use shooting to kill the majority of my jump intercessor squad, charged in with his intercessors in between. Over the course of his turns and my turns, our sergeants both wiped each other's units out almost entirely. Yeah, because I actually don't think oh yeah, that's right, the Vindicators he kept 1 Vindicator in melee with he didn't fall him back, he kept him in melee. And then the other Vindicators shot and killed all of Marneus's squad to a man. Marneus was like, oh, by the way, I feel no pain, never mind, I failed all of them, I'm dead. And he did die. One of the part of it was you can see the Stern Guard aren't here anymore. He uppy downied them, put them over here, repositioned, and they got their double tap on Marneus. And with the anti-infantry 4-up crits, he's able to get a ton of dev wounds between them. And let's see, the infiltrators did fall back, but then the Vindicator Vindicators were able to kill Marneus. So the Marneus squad died, and then the jump intercessors were able to charge in. And between the 2 sergeants, they just wiped each other all the way out, just over the course of 2 turns. So all he's got, unfortunately, he has a Vindicator right here on this objective. But then he also has his no, I don't think he's quite on the objective. I think it's his sergeant is on here, and I have my sergeant on here as well. I think he eventually finds a way to kill my sergeant so he can score it on the next turn, but I did prevent him from scoring for 1 turn, which was a really big win for me, stopping him from scoring on my own turn. The Stern Guard advanced to go up here just so they got a few people that could shoot at the Vindicator. Did almost no damage at all. You can see the moment target is right there. It just didn't happen. The scouts did an uppy downy here to get, I think they got, this is his deployment zone. They got some kind of relic, I forget, locus. I think they did establish locus here. So they got 4 for that. Meanwhile, Uriel and Roboute just hanging out in this center center ruin, just trying to stay out of sight. And oh yeah, the ballistas tried to shoot this thing. This ballistas tried to shoot this thing. This tank tried to shoot, and it just bounced off, man. Just totally bounced off. The one nice thing was I kept making him spend for for Armor of Contempt, which kept him for the rest of the game. I'll just say, it kept him from lifting his Stern Guard, so that he kept his tanks alive, which was important to him, of course. But I managed to have the Stern Guard not redeploy and come back over to help his friends over here. So anyways, Stern Guard are over here. They're starting to do some stuff. His jump bag intercessors are mostly gone. Mine are mostly gone. Marneus is mostly gone. But for the most part, I've caused such a ruckus over here that it's been a big predicament for him. And that this turn 3, there's only 2 turns left, so he did get no prisoners for 4. He didn't get Bring It Down. He didn't kill any tanks this turn. On my turn, I did get that Established Locus with the Scouts, and I got Cleanse with, I think the Combi Lieutenant did Cleanse. So we're slowly, it's 42 to 27, because I think the big thing was I got a 10, so I got my home objective, I got my terraform objective for 10, and Thomas only got a 6. He got 2 for having terraformed his objective, and he got, even though I controlled it, he still got 2 for it apparently passively, which is crazy strong. And then he got 4 for his home objective. So between that and me getting a few more on secondaries every turn, things are looking at least up for me. And I do get second turns. So let's see. I think that might have been the last photo I took. So I think I just did this to explain the rest of what happened. So anyways, Uriel comes up here. And the Tech Marine. So let's see, on his turn, yeah, he takes his Intercessors and just tries to block the Scouts because he doesn't want me to get on his objective, which is understandable. So he has his Intercessors come over here. He has a Tech Marine come over here. He has Uriel come over here and just mess around with stuff over here. Roboute kind of positions himself over here to go and make a last-minute objective grab, and I think on my turn I did finally manage to kill this stupid Vindicator. He also, he had killed my final jump Intercessor, so his last guy jumped over here. At some point I was able to kill him with something, I don't even remember. I think like Roboute eventually on turn 5 just zapped him or something. No one really knows. Anyway, so he's got his Intercessors, because this target is sticky now. He's got his Intercessors over here. He's got his Tech Marine. He's got Uriel, and I think the wipeout, the scout, maybe the Scouts actually. I think the Scouts survived the Intercessors charging him because he whiffed with his Power Fist or something. My Stern Guard come over here and kill not only Uriel but all of the Stern Guard. Which was great. I think in return the Scouts did end up dying, but we're kind of setting it up so that I could make a push with a Stern Guard to get on the objective if I really wanted to. He's only got 2 Vindicators left. He does have Roboute at full. He's got his Stern Guard over here that just, he doesn't have enough CP to uppy downy them, and so anyways, on my turn 4, I managed to get overwhelming force. I killed something on the, I think he put his Vindicator on the objective was what happened. So I killed the Vindicator finally, because he's trying to get points at any cost that he can. And oh yeah, so we put his Vindicator on the objective, and what ended up happening was then I used my leadership aura from Roboute. He stands in the corner and has Uriel and 1 friend. That's all that's left. Go stand on the objective. The Vindicators were 3 or maybe 4, I forget. Uriel stands on the objective. He can't overwatch because he doesn't have CP anyways, and Uriel's got the Vect thing, so he can't overwatch. Uriel and company are sitting at 2 each. I don't have the Ancient. The Ancient is dead. He's Ancient History. But because I have the 6-inch aura, they are 2 OC each and contest the objective. And then, of course, I managed to kill the Vindicator anyways, but I managed to contest it regardless. So, anyways, yeah, I got overwhelming force for killing that Vindicator. I got Defense Stronghold. He got Sabotage somewhere, and he got Engage on all fronts, which, you know, for a small one. And right now it's 58 to 42 in my favor. So he's got to make something happen. On his turn, yeah, that was the last photo. So he takes 1 more Vindicator, gets on the objective. He takes the he takes Roboute, gets on the objective. He has the Tech Marine come over here to like kind of run interference on the Stern Guard, and that's basically all he has, because his Stern Guard couldn't go uppy downy because he didn't have enough stuff. I think he managed to kill my Dreadnought over here, and for my own turn, I decided, like, the Stern Guard could actually have charged the Terminator and then gotten on the objective, or the Tech Marine. I think I could have managed that because his Intercessors are gone, the Stern Guard deleted them. But instead I was like, we're both wiped out, dude. I'm so tired. Like, let's just call it good. Instead, I just moved, Roboute did his OC. So the Dreadnought during my turn 4, it moved to right here within 9 inches. So all he has to do is advance to get on the objective. So yeah, Roboute comes on, deletes Uriel easily. Uriel's just gone. Goodbye. And so he's got a Vindicator. He's got Roboute. He's like, okay, you can't score on that objective. But my Dreadnought was still alive, so I advanced onto it for OC. Roboute comes over here, so Roboute's 5 OC at that point. The Dreadnought becomes 5 OC, and so we out OC him on this objective. I don't even charge Roboute. I don't mess with it. Don't charge his Vindicator. I don't want any part of that. I just want to be done with the game. And so instead of charging the Tech Marine and getting onto his objective and getting max primary, I just called it because I was going to win anyways. And wonder of wonders, folks, I ended up scoring pretty well here. I think... yeah, I ended up with 87 points, even though I could have gotten a little bit more on primary. We got the center objective, we got my own home objective, and then we've got the expansion objective. But yeah, and he did get assassination because he because I had marched Uriel onto that thing. He managed. He got. I don't know why he only scored 3 on Overforce. Maybe only Uriel was there. I don't remember. But assassination. He did kill Uriel, and I got containment for a baby amount. Engage on all fronts for a small amount. And with that, folks. Oh, hold on. Whoa. I guess I didn't show the. I won 87 to 70. So. Wow. Just so crazy, guys. Just so crazy. Like I went 6-0. And that'll be like so cool. Made the top 16. Oh my gosh. But now it's dawning on me. I have to play a 4th game that day. A 7th game in 2 days. And I'm already like, both of us have been making all these mistakes. We're both just wiped out. Stressed out, just, and I had made plans to go to dinner with some people, and I was like, sorry guys, I have to cancel. I have to play another stupid game. I mean, of course, I was willing to. I was over the top excited. Like, really, I was very excited in the tiredest way possible. And hey, Thomas was a really great opponent. Probably could have beat me if he had gotten second turn. I don't know. Who knows? I got better secondaries than him. Good match. I mean, I won by 17, so you know, I got just enough done where I needed to make it work, and made it to the next round. So here, let's talk about the next round, because I am beat. I am so tired. All right, so as just a reward for going 6-0 in one of the toughest fields ever against a ton of really good opponents, I got paired up with Scary, who plays. He's I mean, arguably one of the best, if not the best, Drukhari players out there. And here's the big problem, guys. I've played for 5 months. Since I came back. It's been 10 years since I actually have a Drukhari army. I don't know their rules or shenanigans at all. And so of course I was gonna play, but like Drukhari play way different, and I don't know anything about them, and I'm playing against one of the best players for that faction, a guy who's just overcome some really crazy opponents, and he knows how to beat Marines really well. I don't know anything about his. I haven't played against Drukhari. I've watched a few games, but it's mostly just like, that's cool, man, with all your spikes and bad attitudes, just deleting things. That's nice. Good deal. And I mean, Scary was tired too, but he knew how to play against Marines. So, anyways, of course, I'm gonna go in swinging, right? Like, we haven't come this far just to curl up and die. Like, otherwise, I just forfeit and just say, okay, I went 6-0. I'm good. Let's just end at undefeated. No, of course I'm gonna play. Like, we gotta play. We're going in swinging. Maybe I'll win. Who knows? And so let's get to the game itself. You can look at his list here, of course. All right, so Scorched Earth, so we can destroy objectives if we want, and of course the objective's wide open. And I'm already making mistakes here, guys. I should have the Combi Lieutenant like right here, so that I can just walk onto the middle objective. If I get first turn and I get area denial, I need someone to go walk in and get me area denial. Or I need someone who can get me secure no man's land or something. Instead, I put Combi Lieutenant, Scouts, which is just the biggest fail he's got. He's got a beast company. He's got Archon and the Archon's court in a raider. He's got 2 units of scourges right here. His arm's kind of blocking one of them. Some mandrakes that are just screening. He's got Kronos and Talos and who knows what the hell those guys do, except they just give him all kinds of battle tokens or whatever they're called. He's got some warriors here. He's got Rex. He's got Lilith. He's got just point at a place, and he's got something that I don't know what the hell it does. So I've just overloaded this place with scouts for no reason that I can honestly think of. In reserves, once again, we've got a tank, a ballistus. Those 2 are out, obviously, but then the tank and ballistus are there, and then of course deep striking, jump pack intercessors, and the jump pack intercessors and the stern guard. So Marneus is here with the idea of like staging here and then contested, like making a play for either this objective or this objective. We've got Roboute and the Uriel squad right here. Pretty standard except for how I played the scouts and combi lieutenants. So he goes first, which I was like, oh cool, I get to go second. That's good. That's nice at least. And he so he moves his beasts up, and I just you know, he warned me that they can scout. I'll just say this once. I'm the kind of guy who has to see how it works one time, and then I'll learn it. But otherwise, I can't learn. He's just like rattling off. He's like, oh, and the Void Raven Bomber does this, and this, and this. And the Beast Pack does this, and this, and this. And the Court of the Archon does this, and this. And here's some of my strats. And here's like the Talos and the Kronos. And here's how you tell them apart. And here's the Witches. And here's Lilith Hellsprax. And here's the Scourges. And the Scourges do Haywire. And the Scourges do Darklands. And they do shoot and move, shoot, move. And these guy just has a lot of feel no pain. And this guy revives Rax. And this guy. And I'm like, what? Just a million questions, right? And this is like hour 12 of the GT. Like, I am just beyond spent. And so his beast pack comes over here, charges the scouts, doesn't quite kill them. And I'm like, okay, we gotta kill the beast pack. They look really dangerous. They have all kinds of beasts and packs. And so Uriel comes over here, charges them, just wipes them out. Not even close. In fact, I think all I needed, honestly, ironically, I think I could have just used my other scout squad and the shooting over here, and we would have just killed all the beasts. Actually, like shooting and some charges, like you could get the Predator in. You can see I'm making mistakes. Like the Predator was going to do a tank shock, and so he kind of got close to them. But then, of course, he's towing into the objective so that the Scourges can see him. This is a huge mistake. The Predator should have just been in the corner here. This is just sloppy work by me. Predator just stays out of line of sight, is still able to see into the objective, shoot the Beast Pack, and then if he needs to, just get like a 3 or 4 inch charge and tank shock. Instead, he gets real close for no reason. So kill the Beast Pack, Uriel and company, more than enough to wipe him out, right? Awesome. So cool. He can't possibly threaten my objective anymore. We killed, and not only that, we got assassination because the beast's leader is apparently a character. So awesome. Okay, not too bad. You can see Marneus is just staging here. Usually we have Uriel hanging out with Roboute, but Roboute's like, I can chill with my boy Marneus. No worries, no worries. So turn 1 was actually pretty good for me. I scored extend battle lines, which is pretty easy. Assassination, we killed that character. He only got cleanse for 2. So right now it's 10-2. We're winning on secondaries, and we've killed a beast pack squad. I'm like, okay, can we actually do this? Maybe we can do this. And then okay, all right. So here, let's zoom in here. So his raider, which is right here, it moves up and disembarks guys. So the raider's like touching the objective, disembarks guys, and I'm like, oh, okay, so they can shoot but not charge, right? He's like, no, they can charge. I'm like, oh, so only land raiders can do that, I thought. And he's like, no, apparently all the raiders can. Land Raiders and Raiders can. And apparently Venoms can too. So anyways, Court of the Archon comes here, charges Uriel's squad, who I didn't realize the Archon had a Vect ability either, or would have tried to run with them, but that didn't happen. So they come here, and he's going to charge Uriel's squad, and I'm like, okay, well, we'll heroic intervene. We'll get the jump pack intercessors, right? Jump pack intercessors. So the rapid ingress, ready to heroic intervene. Instead, he's able to charge guys that are just barely outside of my, and I'm like, okay, that's fine too. That's fine. On my turn, I'll just go in and wipe them out. The problem with that is first off, so he charges, he kills most of the company heroes, right? Kills the company heroes, except for Uriel. Uriel has 1 invuln to make. He's already taken 3 damage, so he's got 1 invuln to make. Roll. I just need a 4-up, and I'm good to go. Fail it. I'm like, okay, CP reroll. Costs me 2, but if I CP reroll this and win, then awesome. He doesn't, I think he had assassination or something like that. Like, he can't. Uriel's still alive, and then it messes with my opponent quite a bit, right? Instead, I fail it again, and then he uses a CP, and this is something I had no idea. His guys are all like all the way in here at this point. Uses 1 CP, and I'm like, okay, well, at least I'll just charge them and kill them, and then I'll have the objective again, and we'll just play tug of war with this objective. We'll do the same with the other objective. Instead, he uses a CP. All of them from all the way over here get into the Raider. I had no idea that was possible. No inkling that he could possibly do this. And yes, it's kind of my fault, but I'm just gonna say, guys, I know it sounds like excuse making. It kind of is, but I think I'm allowed to say I've studied this game a lot. I've worked hard to catch up. You just can't. I still haven't played against like 5 different armies. That's just the reality of how this game works. After 5 months, you're gonna have some blind spots, and Dark Eldar, for the most part, you just don't see him too often. So I was like, okay, I'll cut my, I'll do some small research. Clearly not enough. He's able to use a strat that probably, like, everyone I tell about, they're like, oh yeah, they're gonna do that. I'm like, I had no idea. And I mean, Scari's tired. I'm not blaming him for not telling me about it. Maybe he even did. There's just too much, right? Too much to take in. Can't internalize all of it. So Uriel is gone for nothing. Nothing at all. Nothing. The jump back intercessors have nothing to charge. Just a totally frustrating thing. And then, okay, so he moves his warriors here. He's just trying to screen my rapid ingress, which is wise. I think that's a really good move. Cabal, Cable Eye warriors, easy to kill. Marneus and company shoot at them. Roboute shoots at them. They all mysteriously live, except look, one of them lived. Cool, congratulations, you lived. And I think I was foolish here. Marneus and company stayed in the building for no apparent reason. They just stayed in the building, and I think they should have just charged here. I think what they should have done, they should have moved as far over as they could and tried to charge these guys and consolidate somehow onto the objective, stopping him from scoring. I think now, looking back at it, I think I should have, and Guilliman should have gone with them as best he can, right? Instead, on my turn, let's see, do I have yeah, okay, so instead on my turn, I'm like, okay, well, we can't kill the stupid raider. So anyways, I get all my reserves in, except for the Stern Guard. Stern Guard stay out, but then the Ballistus, the Predator, both come in. The Scourges have by then shot my tank. Ballistus and tank and this other Ballistus, they all shoot at the Raider, kill the Raider, woo! And then he positions his Court of the Archon in a place that I can't get to, and or see at all with anyone. So instead, I have my jump back intercessors. I decided to have them go this way because I figured I'd destroy the Raider early, which I did, and then I'd be able to kill the Court of the Archon with shooting, but I just didn't foresee how far they, like, with all the spikes on the stupid Raider, he's able to get him to an unreasonably far distant land way out in BFE, right? So instead, I'm like, okay, I don't want you to get the center objective. He's got Uriel here. Jump back intercessors come in. They charge. They get their 40 attacks. Uriel at toughness 4 up invuln save, and 4 up feel no pain. Takes 1 wound. total. Out of all my, with my impact mortals, with everything, Uriel Ventris, invulnerable. Takes 1 wound out of everything. Out of all my everything. He's just, and then Marneus and company kill 4 Cable Eye Warriors. They've got like a 4-up or 5-up save, something like that. He's just saving like crazy. And instead, like I said, Marneus should have gone here and tried to like charge these guys and get onto the objective and just threaten this objective. I really could have done that. But instead I don't. So jump back Intercessors, the Roboute, like we're starting to make some mistakes that normally I just wouldn't make, right? I did get Defense Stronghold. I got to bring it down because I killed that stupid raider. He got Assassination off, remember, because he killed Uriel. He got Storm Hostile because it was the Uriel was temporarily holding that objective. So yeah, then I think that was the final picture I took. So he gets Established Locus, right? And so he's like, oh, I'm just going to move him over here into your deployment zone. And I'm like, okay, I know he's trying to establish Locus. So Marneus' squad overwatches him. And they all miss. Every single friggin' one of them missed. And he lives. And maybe like 2 of them hit, and he just saves them just courageously with his 5-up. I don't know. Uriel, meanwhile, like rips into these jump pack intercessors. I mean, he can stand up and stuff. It's not like they were gonna just end him in 1 charge, probably. But the fact that they reached new levels of futility. Then Lilith hops out of the Venom comes up. The Venom goes like way over here or something. Lilith is over here. She charges, kills all of them, and then goes back into her Venom, wherever the hell. She might have been on another table. At least you could see that his Raider died. That's satisfying. It's in the dead pile. But so Lilith comes in, kills the squad. She gets like 18 AP4 wounds on them, and they just die. They just die, and then she pops into her transport, which is like I said, like 4 tables away, because that's Dark Eldar can do that. I'm just not prepared to play against that, apparently. And so he gets Established Locus here. He gets the Void Raven Bomber comes in, and I mean, once again, I'm just not prepared for what it can do. It comes in right next to my guys, deletes all of the intercessors. Of course, I still score on here because this was one of my marked for death targets, which had I realized he could, like I would have just said like my 3 vehicles or maybe like Roboute and these 2 vehicles for marked for death. But I figured these guys were safe. Not safe because Void Raven Bomber just deletes things. So these guys are gone, and the squad is gone. Was overrun this objective, and Marneus and Roboute come into the middle. They just both super whiff, and at this point I'm just like, everything's going wrong. Not only is this stuff I don't know about, it's also stuff that I do know about that like kind of shouldn't have happened, but it did, and I'm tilting big time. I'm like, I want to learn about Dark Eldar. Scari's being a really nice guy the whole time anyways. Like, not trying to rag on him. It's just, you know, you get to this level and then just everything just collapses into total disaster. And, you know, it's just, I didn't know how his army played. He knows how my army plays. And congrats to Scary. He played it well. So we called it at that point. I think I told him like, look, you don't deserve I'm about to get grumpy. I don't think you deserve my grumpiness here. So let's just call it like you take the win. So, anyways, but this isn't the score that we ended up scoring because he wanted to see what other scores he could get, which is very reasonable. So he rolled them all out, and he gave me 15 more, which maybe I would have scored 15, maybe I would have scored more. Who knows? I'm not gonna fight it, honestly. Probably not worth it, but one way or another, he got the win, and I was out, very tired, and I had to take an Airbnb, or I had to take an Uber to my Airbnb, and then none of the restaurants, it was like midnight, none of the restaurants were open, so I had to use Uber Eats to order some food from a Mexican restaurant, which was tasty, and I felt somewhat like just a tiny bit like crushing disappointment, of course. Like, ugh, just painful. Sucks. I wanted to win. Of course I did. You don't march this far and get this far and just like, oh yeah, let's just call it. Meanwhile, I watched all the different streams and all the different people saying like, oh look, Scary won, he won, look at him, he won. And I'm like, oh, everyone's celebrating my loss, which that's like the dramatic way of interpreting it. Of course, I don't. Of course, people should root for him. He's a nice guy. He defied the odds with Drukhari, like getting this far. Good for him. Genuinely good for him. But I was kind of relieved that I didn't have to play the next day because I was just so wiped out. So that was it. That was the end of my LVO. I went and hung out in the hall for a little bit the next day. Everyone was very kind to me. A lot of old friends came over and said hi. Really cool. If I didn't remember your names or something, sometimes, guys, I do apologize. But oh, that was it, guys. 6-1 at LVO. Here, let's go to the AAR. So, final thoughts here, folks. It went better than anticipated. Of course, it was crushing to lose. It always is. The first loss of a tournament, whether you get really deep into it or not, is just it's crushing because it means it's over. The dream is dead. You didn't win. So, you know, still, but better if someone had said like, okay, so Adam, what are you gonna do? Like, what's your goal for this tournament? I would have said, all right, I want to go 5-1 at least. Of course, I want to win the whole thing, but beyond that, going 5-1, it would be great. Going 4-2 would be fine. That would be like I'd be very content with that. So going 6-1, it's pretty cool to me, honestly. Even losing that last match, like I had a chance if I had played a little better, if I had known what the hell he could do. You know, if I hadn't been so tired, I think I would have given him a much closer game. Who knows if I'm not at all trying to say I would have won. I was just, you know, it's frustrating. A lot of things frustrating. I don't think he did anything to frustrate me beyond take an army that I didn't know anything about. So, good scores all around, good players, good opponents. Only had one opponent that that I would prefer never to play again, and that's you know, that's regrettable. But the rest of my opponents were solid, man. All of them they're all good players. They all know their stuff for the most part. You know, no issues. If we had to call a judge, it was always very amicable, really good. So, anyways, I went 3-3 in my previous GT, and then I went 6-0, or I guess you could call it 6-1, whatever, at LVO. Like, why do you think that happens? And because going 3-3 is obviously like at a smaller tournament, even at a local tournament, it is significantly different. It's much different than going 6-0 at the biggest, most talent-infused tournament in the world, basically. Like, I mean, maybe there's a few that have a little more talent. Like WTC have some really crazy talent there, but you know, this is one of the toughest fields to navigate. How did I go 6-0 or 6-1, whereas I only went 3-3 at the other one? So there's probably two factors. First off, the 3-3 was just that the three losses were all weird losses, and I'm not saying that there weren't gameplay or skill issues there. I'm not trying to blame my opponents. They were just weird enough, my losses, that there's like one game I think I really try to avoid saying anything like this, but I think I just got screwed by the dice, and then my opponent didn't let me, you know, I ran out of clock and he didn't want me to use his clock, and that's his prerogative, and so I lost by 3, even though like any number, there was like 3 different really unlikely things happening all in a row, and it all combined to barely lose me the game. Unfortunate, it happens, right? So I lost that game, lost a different game, and anyways, we don't need to get into that. Like they were all just like, oh, I feel like I would normally have won, but I don't know. Who knows? Like I had some good results against some really good players in that tournament too. So really, it was hard to evaluate how I would do. And the second part was, taking out a Ballistus Dreadnought and adding jump pack intercessors to be able to contest and threaten objectives. Those guys ended up doing some really important work the whole tournament. Just doing rapid ingress. I spent 6 total CP to rapid ingress them. Well, I guess 7 different times. They were impactful every game except for that last one where they reached new levels of impotence. But yeah, they really fixed a lot of things and issues that were wrong with my list before. And the jump back intercessors and then the Stern Guard, of course, just continued to ruin lives. So anyways, final placement, I got 13th out of 1,100 players, nearly 1,100 players. And so my ranking 3 months ago after my first GT was in the 4,000s. Now it's a little bit higher. So here's the score. Yeah, this is an image that I captured on at the start of November of last year. I was ranked 4,100th on their ELO boards. After LVO, I am, oh here, I'll turn my face off for 1 sec. I am now 12-12, apparently, as of the end of January. So, went up a little bit in ranking, I guess you might say. So, pretty cool. Pretty awesome. Ranking doesn't really concern me too much. I'm not that worried about it, but still cool to see. Like, we'll see how far we can climb. If this might be the pinnacle, honestly. So what's the next event? Always another event. So when this is released, I'll probably be playing at the Laramie Rogue Trader Tournament that's in Wyoming. It's 3 rounds. I'll probably be playing this list. In fact, I will be playing this list. So I'll be trying to update my Instagram. We'll see if I actually get around to it. I hope I do. You can follow along on the event itself. I'll have the link to that in the video description. And then there's going to be a GT in that same town 2 weeks later, so I'll be playing in that. The Rocky Mountain Open is here. There's also an RTT to prep for the Rocky Mountain Open right before that, so I'll be playing in the RTT, followed by the Rocky Mountain Open, which is in Denver, which is where I live. And then there's the Frontier. Here, let's move this. Frontier Open in Cheyenne. I don't know what the date is. It's sometime in April, so I'll be going to that as well. And that's it, folks. I mean, there'll be other RTTs. I'll let you guys know, but I'm a very event-driven person. I like doing events and stuff, going to events. That's the whole reason I play this game, is to go to events and compete at the highest level I'm capable of. So that's it, folks. Gladius list panned out at LVO. I went 6-1 a second time in a row. The first time I did it was when was the last time I was at LVO, which was the first LVO, and I got top 4 back then, a long time ago. So anyways, folks, it's been great. I am signing off. This has been a long video, almost 80 minutes. So guys, thank you all so much for watching. Please don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, comment, mount the algorithm if you want more videos. I'll be doing more tournament recaps, more videos like this. Give me more feedback. I would love it. And finally, one more time, thank you all so much for watching. And remember that if you didn't hear it from me, it's probably heresy. Take care, folks.